Welcome everyone to this lesson. So this lesson is prepared for the students who are in grade 9. So this is our lesson 3, and in Civic Education, under the unit number 2, Contemporary Changes, we have studied up to the service sectors. So we have seen uh, what the changes are taken place in the service sectors. Now we will move to the lesson 2.2.2 here. So it says the influence on individual and society from the various changes occur in the economy. So the changes in the economy create different influences towards individual and society. So we see as a result of changes in the economy, so we will see how it influences in the individual as well as society. So here mention some examples. So the first one, individuals addicting to unfavorable consuming pattern. So I can let me explain it further, because due to the changes in the economy, so the consuming pattern is also changing. So for example, when you in the early days, if we want to buy the grocery items, we go to the shop and buy it. So we wanted to wait in a line, and we should ask the shop owner, and then we have to purchase it. But nowadays, if you go to the food city or supermarket, whatever, so you yourselves go and select the items, and then you can purchase it. So according to wish, you can purchase it. And sometimes we might consume unnecessary materials, and then tending to a life pattern which does not pattern that does not withstand with the economy. And most of the times, people do not consider about their income and their expenses. So our expenses must be based on the income. So for example, if I get 10,000 per month, so I need to manage my expenses with the 10,000 rupees. So I should not spend more than 10,000. So but nowadays, due to the changes in the economy, people are attracted to buy things based on loans or installment basis. So that adversely affect the people's lives, and then getting used to wrong behavioral patterns. And nowadays people may be addicted to alcohol. So alcohol can be purchased in supermarkets, right? So they don't want to any wine shops. So these create unbehavioral or wrong behavioral patterns. And urbanization. So due to the changes in the economy, we can see the urbanization takes place in the villages. So the villages are becoming cities. So we might lose our natural resources, and it might create some environmental problems, and also environmental pollution. So the changes in economy might create environmental pollution. So nowadays you can see there are lots of containers prepared with polythene, rubber, plastic, and it might adversely affect the environment. And mechanization. So the people are always busy, and we cannot see any qualitative aspects in their lives. Apart from that, people are busy with their works, and we can observe that parental love, care, and declining. An occurrence of mental depressions. So this is a serious problem, and due to the changes in the economy, people borrow, or people are addicted to borrow things, and people get loans from the banks and other financial institutions, and it might create mental depressions because they will have due dates and they have to settle on the particular dates, and this creates mental depression. And now we will see occurrence of diseases that cannot be diagnosed. So there are new diseases coming. So the diseases that may not be diagnosed, and due to the changes in the economy, people go and buy unnecessary items, and for example the food items. So so it might create some diseases. Mostly people are at risk for non-communicable diseases. So now we will see, due to this, though whatever changes occur in the economy, we must be conscious to adapt to these contemporary changes in appropriate way. So whatever the changes happens in the economy, so we must be conscious, we must be aware. We should open our eyes, right, to adapt to these contemporary changes in appropriate way. So the important thing is we cannot avoid these changes. However, we should adapt it, but we must be conscious. So let's see how we can be conscious. So the first thing, identifying one's needs and use of appropriate technology accordingly. So before we purchase or consume things, we need to identify our needs, and then we have to use the appropriate technology. So what do you mean appropriate technology? So we have studied in page number 33. When you watch this video, you have to keep your textbook with you. Then only you can get a clear picture of this lesson. So appropriate technology is using technology to suit the social, economic, cultural, and environmental conditions of the country. So appropriate technology is using technology to suit the social, economic, cultural, and environmental conditions of the country. So we must be aware of this, and when we adapt to the technology, we must be or maybe we can ask that does it affect our environment, or does it suit to our social, or does it suit to our economical condition or culture. So these types of questions should be raised before we adapt to any technological changes, and then not becoming a slave to technology. So slave means addiction. So we should not be addicted to a particular technology. And nowadays people are using mobile phones, and some people could not stay for even 5 minutes without their mobile phones. So all the times they keep their mobile phones and they are checking, and it means they are addicted. And then apt adaptation to the changes take place in the economy. So apt means appropriate adaptation to the changes take place in the economy. So now we will see new trends bound with job market. Identifying new trends bound with job market. So what do you mean job market? So before that we need to find some key terms. The first one, world of work. So what do you mean by world of work? World of work means all the employment opportunities available in the society. So world of work means all the employment opportunities. Employment opportunities means job opportunities available in the society. So there are different types of job opportunities that we can find in our society. So I hope you have studied the different types of job opportunities in grade 8. So next we will see job market. So job market means the demand for the employment opportunities available in the world of work and suitable supply for it. So we need to find which job is demandable, right? And then lack of skilled workers for these job opportunities has become an acute problem faced by many countries in the world. So when we look at the world, so the job opportunities are available, and most of the times people say we don't have job opportunities, so we have unemployment people. So I do not agree with this, because the job opportunities are available, but the thing is people are not suited for them. So that's the most important problem in this world, right? So the lack of skilled workers for these job opportunities has become an acute problem. So skilled workers, I think you have studied in grade 8, skilled workers, unskilled workers, right? Skilled workers means in a particular field they are the skilled people. For example, uh, a vehicle repairing person, he only can do that job. A medical officer, a doctor, a medical doctor, he is the only person who can do that particular job, right? And a mason, carpenter, plumber, so all those jobs are in relation to skills. So they are using different types of skills. But nowadays in the world, we cannot see the skilled workers, very rare. So because of this, identifying job opportunities available in the job market is important. So we need to identify the job opportunities available in the job market. So before we continue, or before we follow any particular course or maybe study, we need to look at the job market, right? So which job has demand? So based on that we can select our course. Some brilliant students who select their course, right, which is connected to the present job market. For example, I can say some are studying accounts work, and this is very demand, and some are selecting some medical fields. These are also very demandable jobs, right? And meanwhile, continuous awareness about the timely trends present in the job market is a must. And the job market is changeable. It is changing, right? So we cannot see uh, uh, we cannot see the job market in last 2000, maybe 10, or the same job market could not prevail in 2020. So there is a change. So we need to be awareness, and we should have a look at the trends that are changing in the present job market. As well, completing the necessary qualifications for them is also compulsory, and we need to complete the qualifications. So there are different types of courses, and we need to study them and complete the qualifications. If we do not have qualification, we cannot apply for any jobs. So many jobs have merged in different fields of the present society. So they can be shown classified as follows. So here only mention 3 sectors. For example, agriculture sector, industrial sector, service sector. So under these 3 sectors, you can find the job opportunities. For example, under agriculture sector, recycling non-biodegradable waste, and jobs related to the management of biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste. So solid waste management is the demand, and it is very required field in the current world. So the jobs related to those fields are very essential under the agriculture sector. And food processes, this is also very demandable job. Right? Food processing means producing different types of foods, right, from the raw material. Agriculture research officer, so there are research institutions established even in our country also. So our country is famous for agriculture sector, so there are many research institutions. So if you study agriculture, so you can work as an agriculture research officer, breeding researcher, technical officer. So under the industrial sector, electronic technicians, drone cameramen. Nowadays the people are using drone cameras. The camera is flying over the sky and it captures pictures, right? Robot technicians, nanotechnicians. So we have seen what technologies, right? Computer technicians, software developers. So software developers, it's a very demandable job, because nowadays there are many programs becoming. So the programs should be written in computer language. And service sector, so for service sector, suppliers of items for functions, and there are different types of functions. For example, birthdays, weddings, right? And suppliers of sound system accessories. Legal advices, right? So if you would like to be a lawyer, you can study LLB degree, right, at the universities and at the law college, right? Then you can become a legal advisor. And interior decorations, right? So the people nowadays, according to the changes, the people are decorating their houses. So interior decorations in the houses or maybe in the offices, right? So with the contemporary changes, the demand prevails in the job market for various jobs to has changed. Factors that have influenced for it are shown below. So the first one, human needs being complex, not simple, right? Gradual increase of the crowd receiving education, right? So with compared to our past decades, nowadays people are studying well and they are receiving education, and an arrival of various machineries in the place of human labor, right? So instead of using human labor, there are machineries. Growth of labor force with the growth of population. So when the attention is focused on present job market, it becomes clear that it consists of two main sections. So we can divide the job market into two main sections. What are those? The first one, local job market. Second one, foreign job market. So it is important to accomplish relevant educational and vocational qualifications from the schooling age itself. So you need to have qualification, right? Or you need to pursue the qualifications from the schooling age itself. And then employments that are open through new trends. There are many modern employments that have emerged under the influence of new trends in the job market. The following are some examples for them. So in the present job market, there are many modern employments that have emerged. So let's see what are those employment opportunities. So data processors, software engineers, horticulture technicians. Horticulture means the art of gardening, right? Genetic engineers, it is related to gene technology. Fashion modelers, graphic designers, translators, flower cultivators, architects, ornamental fish breeders, media men, function organizers, data analysts, counsels. Data analyst means, so we need to collect data from the field and then we need to analyze according to the requirement. So employments that are open through new trends. Being aware of this is important to enter the job market in future. So it is important to focus on the following in completion of qualifications for job market with new trends. So training on new technical equipment. So we need to complete our qualifications, right, in those fields. So we must be attention to receive our qualification in the following fields. Knowledge on computer. So everyone should study about computer. Nowadays the ICT subject is introduced from grade 6 to advanced level. So you need to study the information communication technology very carefully. Willingness to be trained further. So we must be willingness to be trained further. Dedication to provide the service in additional time. So if you have joined in a job, you are ready to work at any time, right? So this means the expression of your dedication, commitment, right? And flexibility, right? So you should be flexibility. Fluency in many languages. Fluency in many languages is an advantage for us, right? Example, English, Tamil, Chinese, Russian, Spanish, Korean, Japanese, French, right, etc. And even if we are Sri Lankan, we must be fluent in Sinhalese, English, right? And it will help us to get the job opportunities easily. So when you look at the job advertisement, you can see under the heading of requirement, they mention must be fluent in Tamil or Sinhala, right? Or must be fluent in English, so, right? You can observe it. So now we have completed this lesson and we have come to the questions, right? So you can complete these questions and answer one by one, and then you can send it to me privately. So thank you so much for watching this lesson. So I will send this lesson in PDF, then you can write the questions easily.